What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another review video. Big shout out goes out to TST Group for reaching out to me and asking me to review one of their electric bikes. This is the R002 model. And just for size comparison, I'm 5'8", I weigh 160 pounds, and this is what I look like on this bike. The sitting position is very nice and natural for me. The seat is extremely comfortable. In the front, we have a generic front fork. I've seen it before. It's not adjustable, but it's better than not having anything. And in the rear, we have a monoshock that is medium stiffness. In this review, I'm going to go over everything there is to know about this electric bike. There will be chapters down below, so feel free to skip around to whatever part is of interest to you. But first, let's get started with the specs. So this is the TST R002 electric bike. It features a 1500 watt peak hub motor in the rear with 90 newton meters of torque, coupled with a 48 volts 15 amp hour removable battery. TST claims that this should give you a range of up to 65 miles depending on riding mode and riding conditions, of course. We have 20-inch by 4-inch fat tires, coupled with hydraulic brakes front and rear with 180 millimeter rotors. That is very nice. This bike also has a front suspension fork as well as a rear monoshock for a smooth, comfortable ride, a Shimano 7-speed with the Shimano derailleur, an extremely comfortable large seat as well as passenger seat and passenger foot pegs. In the front of the bike we have a motorcycle style headlight that's decently bright, and in the rear we have a taillight, an active brake light, as well as turn signals. That is always good. The total weight of this bike is about 72 pounds with the max load capacity of 450 pounds. And up on the handlebars we have our rear brake and our Shimano gear changer. In the center we have a display with all of the information you'll ever need. And on the left side we have our front brake, our on, off, and mode selector buttons, thumb throttle, headlight button, and turn signals. And that is pretty much it for the specs. Now, as far as the price, this current model goes for $799, which by itself is already an amazing price. But as of making this video, which is mid-November, they are about to have a Black Friday sale where you can get $100 off this thing. And besides that, I will have a discount code and a link in the description if you're watching this video after Black Friday, where you can get a little bit of a discount on this bike if you're interested in this model. But with all that stuff being said, let's jump into our speed test. Now, before I do the speed test, I do want to show you the starting procedure. This bike has like a 2-stage startup, let's call it. The first stage is turning the battery on. There's a switch over here that must be switched on in order for the bike to turn on. And once you're on the bike, we have a power button over here. You hit that for a couple of seconds and the bike will turn on. Now, this bike has 5 pedal assist modes. 0 means no throttle. For our speed test, I'm going to be using pedal assist mode 5. So I got my GPS app open and the speed reset, and let's see how fast this thing can go. Okay, takeoff, not that bad at all. It kind of wants to, it doesn't fully yank you back, and it's just starting to kind of want to lift the front tire up. Nothing crazy, you're not going to be looping the bike, but it shows that it has a little bit of power. Now, one thing that I do want to note is this bike comes locked out of the box in class 2, which means 20 miles an hour top speed. You can, however, unlock it using their app, and I did unlock mine, making it a class 3 bike. So we should potentially hit anywhere between 28 and 32 miles an hour. Bike is showing 28. I'm just going to keep on going till the end of this street right here, just to give my GPS app enough time to catch up. Sometimes it's laggy, but anyways, let's see our results. So my GPS app is showing 28.2 miles per hour. So not bad at all. That means the speedometer is pretty much on point. It was showing 28. At the same time though, it is kind of windy today, so it might have a little bit of an effect on our top speed. So I wasn't quite able to hit 32 miles an hour, but I will give the bike the benefit of the doubt because it is windy out. But regardless, that was our speed test. Now let's do our brake test, and these are beautiful hydraulic brakes, 180 millimeter rotors. Those are very nice. One thing to keep in mind is these are brand new, so we'll see what kind of results we get, but I'm making my way up to about 20 miles an hour, hitting the brakes in 3, 2, go. Oh man, that rear locked up right away. Okay, so from that light pole to where I'm at, we're looking at an estimated distance of about 20 feet, something like that. Okay, so about 20 feet of stopping distance from about 20 miles an hour. Now, like I said, these are brand new, guys, so as soon as they bed themselves in, you should expect way better results. But anyways, that was our brake test. Now let's talk about the riding experience. And this thing is like a beautiful moped style e-bike. Very nice, low center of gravity, because where the battery is sitting, you can easily carve with this thing and get fairly low. The geometry of this thing feels very nice. It is very zippy. I'm loving the acceleration and the throttle response, especially once you unlock it. As far as stability, let's see that real quick. Should be fairly stable. Yeah, fairly stable. Now, I recently reviewed another e-bike that has pretty much the same front situation, so same grips, I'm pretty sure very similar brakes, same screen, same peripherals, whatever you want to call it, very similar, and they both had their thumb throttle on the left side, which is one thing that I personally don't fully like. You do get used to it, and it's not that big of an issue as you initially think, but it's just that my brain is so wired to have the throttle on the right side. It's different, but you get used to it. Let's see how this thing does with a little curb hop over here. Not bad at all. The front fork is exactly the same as the bike I reviewed last video. The only difference is the rear suspension. This is a rear monoshock. That other bike had dual rear shocks, which were actually stiffer than this. So as far as the rear suspension goes, this is a lot better. As far as the sitting position, is very, very comfortable. And I want to show you the power and the seat. As far as the seat, extremely soft and comfortable. Very, very comfortable seat. And we also get this little extra padded piece over here for a passenger, and it does come with passenger foot pegs. Now, you don't have to install these, they are optional, but since I'm reviewing this thing, I wanted to install them just so you guys can see what it looks like. Pretty nice and sturdy. You can definitely have more than one person ride this bike. And as far as the power, yeah, see, this thing just wants to lift up right away. So if you knew what you're doing, you can definitely wheelie this thing. The front end is extremely light on this bike, and I really like that. Now, as far as unlocking the bike goes, on the manual there's a QR code where you can download the app, or you can just search for the TST app on whatever app store you use. Once you download it, you do have to create an account, and then you can easily switch it between class 2 and class 3. You just have to kind of agree to some terms, letting you know the laws, and hey, just be aware that you are changing the bike. But it's a very easy process, and once you do it, it stays unlocked unless you change it back. Now, keep in mind that by unlocking it and turning it into class 3, you are asking for more power to be used, so obviously you're going to get less range than if you were to use it in class 2 mode. Just keep that in mind. I recommend unlocking it. Of course, you do what's best for you. It's just that these things become so much more fun once you pass 25 miles an hour. Actually feels like you're moving, and 25 miles an hour, well, in this case 28 miles an hour, feels a lot faster. Now it's time to test our off-road performance. Now, this part of the park is no match for this bike. It's fairly flat and very easy on the motor. I am, however, working my way to somewhere that's a little bit more demanding. It's a short section, but it should give us an idea of what to expect. Now, the camera never does this section justice. It is a lot bumpier than it seems on camera, and it's a little bit more demanding from the suspension and the power. We have a little bit of a steep incline here. I'm not going to be using momentum, motor only. Let's see what happens. Okay, so the motor is struggling a little bit, but managed to do it, and overall not that bad. Let's see how it does with the downhill section. Okay, yeah, not bad at all. To me personally, I would be using this to commute on the road mainly. I personally would not take it on crazy extreme trails because I'm not sure how well it would do with inclines, like steep inclines. You may struggle. So as far as me personally, I view this as a commuter bike, but it seemed to handle that little short section and incline pretty well. Okay, well that went much better than I expected. I usually like to stop and test things like the headset, which feels very solid, or did anything else get loose, and everything seems pretty good. Alright, so what do I think about the TST R002 electric bike? Let's do things I like, things I don't like, and is this thing good value for money or not? I'll start with things I like. First and foremost, I love the way this thing looks. I really like the color as well. It actually comes, I believe, in 3 different colors. I think there's white, black, this color, and I think that's it, but you can check out their website and see. The white looks very, very nice as well. I'm loving the seat, very, very comfortable, and I'm really impressed with those brakes. Very nice for this type of bike. Another thing I personally like is the fact that you can unlock it. I think that giving the customer the power to choose between what mode they want their bike to be in is a very nice thing to do, so I really like that. Now let's do things I don't like. And I always try to find something, just so I'm honest with you guys. In this case, there are 2, 1.5, 2. The first thing being the speed. Their website does advertise 32 miles an hour when unlocked. I was only able to hit 28.2. Now, a lot of different factors come into play when determining top speed. So perhaps on a different day, I would be able to hit a higher top speed. But the fact that I wasn't able to hit the 32 miles an hour, I'll put that with my dislikes. Now, again, like I said earlier, anything over 25 feels very fast on these things. So 28 is very nice and welcoming, and you are within the legal limit. The second thing that I don't fully like would be the suspension. Now, the rear shock is okay, it's decent, especially for the road, and the front fork is okay for the road. It's just that if it had a little bit better of a front fork, this ride experience would be so much better. But at the same time, for the price of this thing, you can't really complain. Which brings me to my last thing. Is this thing good value for money or not? We're talking $7.99, which is absolutely crazy. These things keep on getting cheaper and cheaper, and that is without my discount code. And again, if you're watching this around Black Friday time, Christmas time, this should be on sale where you can get $100 off, making this $6.99. That is absolutely crazy value for money. So yes, this thing is insane value for money without the discount code. With the discount code, absolutely insane value for money. Now, I'm pretty sure I was able to cover everything there is to know about this electric bike, but in case I missed anything, please leave it in the comment section. I will do my best to answer. This has been the TST Bike R002 electric bike review. I appreciate you guys watching as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.